Creativity, and even more creativity. A thing that right now in the Arsenal squad, if we're being honest, Arsenal simply do not have. From the consistent exclusion of Mesut Ozil to overall the attack just being too predictable in the final third. And so today the search begins for the next Arsenal creative midfielder and potentially the replacement of Mesut Ozil. So with that being said, guys, let's get into the investigation and let's figure out 5 attacking midfielders Arsenal need to sign next window. Here we go. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boy's channel. This video has been kindly sponsored by the guys at OneFootball, and if you don't know what OneFootball is, then it is time to listen up. OneFootball is one of the best apps on the footballing market, and so if you guys would like to stay up to date with the team news, transfer news and anything regarding your football club, then OneFootball is the app for you. And so if you guys could do your boy a massive favor and download the app, the links are in the description below, it would be massively appreciated. Drop a like on the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're closing to 30,000. And as always, get involved in the comments and let me know players that you think Arsenal need to sign. But with that being said, guys, investigation, the Transfers FC special edition, here we go. First attacking midfielder, Dominik Szoboszlai. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when it comes to pronunciation of this player, is it Szoboszlai, is it Szoboszlai? I'm not quite sure, so any Hungarians or any man that know how to pronounce it, let me know in the comments below if I got it right. In terms of the player himself, he plays for Austrian side RB Leipzig, and of course, the wings are in full effect. But yeah, guys, all jokes aside, in terms of the position of the player, he can play as a centre midfielder, a left midfielder when needed to, and also, most importantly, an attacking midfielder, and that is what we're here for. But the real question is for a lot of fans is, what are the positives of this player, and why is he so highly rated? The first thing I would like to discuss, of course, is his age. The guy is 20 years of age, born in 2000, and hear this, guys, he's younger than me. But of course, with him being so young, he has so much time to develop and so much time to get even better than what he currently is. And let me just say right now, his standards are already pretty decent indeed. In terms of dribbles, last year, man had 2 dribbles per game per 90 minutes, and that of course is very good as well. But the key thing, of course, in a creative midfielder is of course the creativity, and let's just say Szoboszlai does not lack that, having made 2.5 key passes per 90 last season, and that is higher than any other Arsenal player currently in the Arsenal squad. He is also a player who loves a cross, whipping the ball in 6 times a game per 90 last season. Again, may I just say, very impressive indeed. And those numbers look even more impressive when you realise that was in the Champions League and the Europa League last season for RB Salzburg, and that just shows this guy, of course, is a top caliber player and proven at the highest standard as well. And if I am to compare him to a Premier League player right now, I don't want to overhype him, but I'm gonna have to say Kevin De Bruyne. Not only because his high quantity of crossing and also his high level of creativity, but Szoboszlai is also a player who loves to play in the half space, and that is where he thrives as well. And as you guys know, your boy loves a cheeky little half space. And again, let's just say that stats are there to back it up, with him getting 12 goals and 11 assists last season for Salzburg. Goes to show this guy already is a top level player, or gonna get to that stage anyways, and the potential is there to be seen. But listen, as much as we love the positive vibes, what about the negatives? Well, in terms of the only things I can think of really is the fact that of course he's playing in the Austrian league. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect the Austrian league, he has to produce Mane and Keita, but at the same time, it's not the Premier League, it's not Liga, it's not the Bundesliga, it's not a top 5 league, and a league that, you know, you can't really compare it to the Premier League by any means. And also with him being so young, yes, it can be a positive, but also a negative with the lack of experience of top level football. And yeah, he's younger than your boy, he's very inexperienced, and that obviously could be a risk as well. But overall, as you guys can clearly see, the positives massively outweigh the negatives, and that's why this transfer looks like a very interesting transfer. And let's just say your boy is also a cheeky little fanboy as well. But at the end of the day, that is all well and good, but is this transfer really possible? Well, in terms of Szoboszlai, the last transfer window, he stayed at RB Salzburg despite interest from AC Milan and a host of other big clubs, including Arsenal. And one of the main reasons for that was because they are still in the Champions League. Now, don't get it wrong, I think we could still sign Szoboszlai if we are still in the Europa League. But then again, lads, let's get it straight. That's the Europa League and then there's the Champions League. There's levels to this thing. And in my opinion, regardless, I think this is a very possible transfer, and his market value only is around £22 million. So overall, I'm thinking probably £30 million max, which for the caliber and of course the potential isn't actually that much in the grand scheme of things. But then again, when it means someone experienced, it's a massive risk. So lads, get in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Dominik Szoboszlai, and do you think Arsenal should look to sign him and bring him to the Emirates Stadium? Moving on to the second player, Houssem Aouar Oh lads, we're back again. Of course, we had the whole transfer window, Transfer FC, dominated by my man here. And listen lads, here we are again, full circle FC. Of course, in terms of we all know, he plays for Lyon, of course, are a very stubborn club to negotiate with. And in terms of positions, of course, he can play a centre midfielder, attacking midfielder, and also when needed to, as a left midfielder as well. And of course, as you guys know, Arsenal were linked heavily with him and tried to sign him in the last window. And the question really is, why were Arsenal so intense, and what are the positives of this transfer? Well, the first thing, of course, is just like Szoboszlai, this guy is still very young, only 22 years of age, and having a bit more experience there and there. And he has also proven at the highest level in the Champions League knockout stages, 7 goals and assists last season, just to go to show this guy has top level pedigree. In terms of his main assets as a player, of course, it is his dribbling, getting 2.6 dribbles per 90 min last season for Lyon. And overall, Aouar is a player who is best in the final third, getting 4 touches in the box per 90, and also in 90 min making 3 progressive runs as well. Overall, Aouar is a player who loves to get forward and loves to play in that final part of the pitch. And again, we go back to the half space. Aouar is a player who loves to play in that department, and he thrives there as well. And in terms of comparisons of players, of course, I can compare Szoboszlai to KDB. Aouar is more of a Iniesta type of mold. I know it's a massive comparison, but he's a player who's more involved in build-up than the final pass itself. Now, I'm not saying he's anywhere near the level yet, but he clearly plays in that type of player and that mold of player. But what about the negatives of the transfer? Well, to be honest with you guys, as quality of a player he is, and much potential he has, the end product isn't quite there yet. And yes, he's still 22 years of age, but he's still yet to get 10 plus assists in any of the seasons for Lyon so far. And overall when it comes to creativity, he's only made 1 key pass per night last season. And so for me looking at it, he looks less of an out and out creator and more of a ball carrier. And then that poses the question, do Arsenal need a ball carrier after the signing of Thomas Partey? Now, don't get me wrong, Aouar is a quality player, but in terms of creativity, you can see he's not quite there yet. But what about the possibility of the transfer itself? Well, as you guys know too well, of course, towards the end of the last transfer window, Arsenal went heavy for him and we couldn't get over the line. Initially, it was said that Arsenal couldn't afford him, but that makes no sense because Arsenal paid a 50 million release clause for Thomas Partey. Maybe it was, of course, the agent fees, with some reports claiming his agent wanted a massive fee, and so of course maybe that was a factor. But alas, at the end of the day, it wasn't meant to be, and now the question really is, are other clubs going to come in for him? Because of course we've heard interest from Juventus, from Real Madrid, so we're gonna have to wait on seeing that. And so lads, I'm gonna throw it to you guys in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on Houssem Aouar, and do you think he is the answer to Arsenal's creative issue? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Moving on to the third player lads, and that is Emiliano Buendia. Man like Emiliano, welcome back to Transfers FC. Of course, in terms of Buendia, he plays for Championship side Norwich City. In terms of position, just like the previous players before, he can play as a centre midfielder, as an attacking midfielder, and also as a right winger. But of course, Buendia right now being a Championship player, the real question is, why is he on this list and what are the positives? For me, the clear thing straight away is the high level creativity. And I'm not talking creativity in the Championship, I'm not talking creativity in other leagues, I'm talking creativity in our own league, the Premier League. And the massive stat is, of course, that he was 4th in chances created last season in the Premier League, only behind De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So let's just put a little speck on man like Emiliano's name. And also in terms of Buendia, where he comes into his own, and also in terms of Buendia, he's a very solid presser, and as well as that, he's also a very defensively solid player, overall making 82 tackles and 23 interceptions last season in the Premier League for Norwich City. And of course with him, and of course the key words there is Premier League, he's a Premier League proven player, and he has shown, as you can see with his stats, that he can play at the highest level of English football. But let's put the positive vibes to one side. What are the negative vibes? Well, the real question for me is this guy consistent enough? But why hasn't any other big club or any club in the Premier League gone for Buendia? And with him still being only 23 years of age, he still has a lot of time to mature and a lot of maturing to do. But what about the transfer and its possibility? Well, for me, this transfer, if Arsenal would like it to happen, is actually pretty simple. Of course, we can't sign him right now because the window, even domestically, is closed. Come January, I think if Arsenal wanted to, we could get him on a loan with the obligation or option to buy. And for me, out of all the transfers so far, this one is probably most likely in January. But yeah guys, again, I'm going to throw it to you guys in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on Emiliano Buendia, and do you think he has Arsenal quality and should Arsenal look to sign him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Moving on to the fourth player lies Julian Brandt. Now I can't lie, this one here is a bit out of the box. In terms of Julian Brandt right now, he is of course a German international who plays for Borussia Dortmund, and in terms of positions, this guy plays a left winger, a right winger, and most importantly as an attacking midfielder as well. In terms of the positives of the German baller, the first thing of course again is age. 24 years of age, is still young, but he's entering his peak years, which of course is very key for Arsenal, and for me he has that mix of experience but also the ability to improve and only get better with time. In terms of Brandt himself, he is a very good dribbler, completing 2 dribbles per 90 in the Bundesliga last season, and he's also a decent level creator, getting 1.2 key passes per 90 as well, slightly better than Houssem Aouar. And in terms of the overall stats, 3 goals and 7 assists is not bad by any means whatsoever, and those stats look even better when you realise he's not the main outlet, it's Haaland, and of course man like Jadon Sancho, and I'm sure Man United fans know a lot about him. But let's move on to the negatives of the player himself. Well, to be honest with you guys, there's not a lot of negatives about it, it's just that he's not a high level creator. He's a good level creator, but overall he's the player that can really solve our entire creative issue, and he's more of a player who's more of the eye test. You watch him play and you see a baller, and maybe the stats just don't do him enough justice. But as I've said before, that is all well and good, but what about the possibility of the transfer itself? To be honest with you guys, I kind of think this is a bit of an unlikely one because he plays for Borussia Dortmund, and as United fans will know more than anyone, it is very hard to get players out of them. They set the prices and that is it. You either pay them the money or you get out of there. But yeah guys, let me know your thoughts on Julian Brandt, a bit of an outside the box option, and do you think Arsenal can sign him and bring him to the Emirates Stadium? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And on to the final player, Lorenzo Pellegrini. Let's just say Scouting FC is here in full effect. In terms of Pellegrini, of course he is a player who plays for Italian side Roma in the Serie A, and as you guys can see, your boy of course is an international scout. From the Bundesliga to the Austrian Bundesliga to Liga to now Italy Serie A, here we are. In terms of Pellegrini and his positions, of course, is central midfielder, central defense midfielder, and most importantly as a central attacking midfielder. And let's get straight into this and investigate the positives of this potential transfer. Again, straight away, age is a key thing. He is 24 years of age, he's got experience, but also the ability to get better and entering his peak years, which is always important. And the key for Pellegrini, of course, is he's a high level creator, with 3 key passes per 90 being the highest out of any player on this list, and considerably higher than any Arsenal player last season. In terms of stats last season, again it backs up. Pellegrini had 9 assists in this area last season, and as a player he excels in the 4-3, of course a formation that Arteta would like to move into, and is the ideal formation for us to progress as a team. And overall, in terms of the type of player, this guy is a space operator. He looks for spaces in the half space and looks to exploit them and make chances, and that is something that could be very useful at Arsenal and our current team. And he is also a tall, imposing player, well over 6 foot, powerful, fast, and overall very athletic as well. This guy is a proper creative midfielder. But of course, as much as your boy is an advocate for positive vibes, let's not forget the negatives as well. In terms of Pellegrini, this guy isn't the best of dribblers, completing 0.9 dribbles per 90 last season, and also he's not the best of goal scorers, getting only 1 goal last season in the entirety of the Serie A. Moving on lads, what about the possibility of the transfer itself? Well, in terms of market value, it sits here £28 million. I think it'll be more around 30-35. Of course, with them being a Serie A club, I wouldn't be surprised if they were open to a loan with the obligation to buy, because of course that is something these Italian clubs love to do. And so there you guys go, that is my 5th player, Lorenzo Pellegrini. Do you think Arsenal could sign him? And that completes the entire list, from Szoboszlai to Aouar to Buendia to Brandt to now Pellegrini. Let me know which one of the 5 players you think Arsenal should look to prioritise, and if you have any other suggestions, get in the comments and let me know your thoughts. But with that being said guys, of course if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down there and drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you are new. As always, get in the comments and get involved and let me know your thoughts on the video itself and also the players that I've discussed. Do your boys channel a massive favour and download the OneFootball app. The links are in the description below. Massively appreciated. And also if you guys can follow your boy on social media and subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders, it would again be massively appreciated. But with that being said guys, just end it there and there. In a special episode of Transfers FC, we looked at 5 attacking midfielders that could solve Arsenal's creative issue. It's clearly there, it's not over to Arsenal, sort it out. So Arsenal, roll on January and let's see us there. But with that being said guys, I will see you next time.